Glory to the Swarm, brothers and sisters. I am your cult leader, Cheese, and today we have a new cultist spotlight, this time focusing on one of our newer cultists, Zero. Zero faced off against Shadoff in the recent weekly tournament and had some very impressive results, and I'm really looking forward to sharing them with everybody. Let's get into the game. Alright. So, Zero's offered a Rhino Specialist, Elite Specialist, Giant, and Supply. Since I'm assuming this is a gospel game, we will go with, I'm guessing the Rhino. Yep. No. Yes. Okay. So Shadoff is at the bottom here. Zero is at the top. Okay. So starting off with steel balls all the way back, crawlers all the way back. Okay. And then crawlers slightly in front. Looks like Shadoff is going with an asymmetrical defense, spiders and marksmen around the tower. Zero gonna buy anything? Looks like Shadoff puts a couple packs of crawlers down, and Zero has not bought anything. It's an interesting tactic. Looks like they have unlocked Void Eyes, but chosen not to pick them up. Alright. Let's see where this goes. Not sure if this is a timeout or if this is part of the plan. But yeah, this should be a win for Shadoff. We've only got 3 packs of chaff and 2 steel balls. We have no chaff clear. And our chaff is getting cleared. Have we sold the gun? I think we sold a gun. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, speaking of guns, this big one's about to, yeah. Not great. Okay. Alright. So, it's a pretty hefty loss on round 1. Let's see where we go from here. Round 2. Haste modules offered. That's always nice. Shield airdrop's always nice if you're going into the flank. So it looks like we do take the Rhino drop. And we have unlocked wasps. We have bought wasps. We have wasps in the... We have 3 wasps. We have sold... Okay, so we sold the gun on 1. So we unlocked sell. On 2, we sold another steel ball. Or we sold a steel ball, rather. And we bought 3 wasps with this Rhino drop. So we still have 50 left over. That is something. Okay. So this is an interesting wrinkle to the gospel. If you don't commit to anything on round 1, you do have the extra resources. You can go for a triple wasp flank on 2. This is risky. We don't have any protection against a potential wraith play, so we're going to have to power through whatever the opponent throws at us. But I am here for it. Let's see what happens. We are going to speed through this round because our opponent has a pack of fangs and 2 marksmen for upshoot, barring some really bad wasp interactions. Should be a pretty handy win. Yeah, we're going to have 3 full packs of wasps because these fangs got stuck on that Rhino drop. Rhino comes in, kills. Yeah. So, 1 marksman down, 2 marksmen down. Yeah. So this is going to be a win for the good guys. Alright. So we've committed to the gospel on round 2 with nothing to defend our towers except for a single gun. This is brave. Round 3. Alright, underground threats offered. That's pretty handy right here. Yep. Assuming we're buying triple chaff. Looks like our opponent has gone with anti-air tarantulas, steel balls, and crawlers of their own. So, Shadoff is familiar with the gospel. I have played against him a few times. Both times he's managed to stop me. So, this is a Opponent I have not managed to take down yet. We haven't played in a few months, so maybe I could now. But each time he's had a very strong and measured response against the gospel, but he may also be expecting my version, not whatever this is. So I think this is going to go pretty well. We've got range on 3. Okay, we got range and crawlers on 3. Yeah, I like that. Getting that crawler underground threat really helped as well because it held up the first spider from getting into our wasps, allowing us to take out these 2 spiders over here. This should be a pretty decent tower timing since that's going to get taken before we get there. Hopefully we head over towards the other tower rather than... Nope. Okay. Well, this isn't going to be so great then. Maybe? Okay, yeah, this could work out. Spiders wind up going to the tower. We can get that tower at a good time, go take out a spider, we might have a shot. I don't think this is still going to be a round loss until we get some sort of tank in there. Yeah. AA spiders can be a real bear. Okay. Now Shadoff has typhoons. Phantom Ray drop is offered. Kind of like that here. Alternatively, take the Scorpion and sell it. Phoenix here, it's interesting, not really useful for what we're trying to do. So it looks like we will take the Phoenix since... Where's the Phoenix? Oh, we're sticking the Phoenix in the flank. Okay. Rhino goes in the flank. Interesting. So there's a Raiden defending the flank. We've got extra rhinos. Alright. Yeah. Let's see, our opponent's got with a Raiden, an extra steel ball. So unfortunately these steel balls are going to get quick locks onto our rhinos. But that's okay. We've got a plan, right? I'm not sure. I do like how Zero has used this offset formation a bit to at least trick the first steel ball positioning. These late balls back here could become a problem as well. Yeah, that early lock on is really unfortunate. We'll get in though on these steel balls with the second wave. That's really nice. I'm expecting we'll probably see long range on the steel balls for next round. Rhino survives. Hey, we even have some crawlers survive from the front. That's really nice. So we take the tower. We're going to go take another tower. We will lose ours. It has been leveled up to level 2, so it's not going to be quite as bad. Uh-oh, things have turned around. That could be bad. But this Phoenix could come in play here and be super handy if we get into the spiders with it. Okay. Nice. Really like that. Mixing up the flank, keeping them on their toes. Okay, Wasp Swarm's offered, an Orbital Bombardment's offered. The Amp Core is also a choice, but I feel like it's just too expensive here. So our opponent has shown that they are going with a land-based defense. So I don't know that I would go with an Amp Core here. I think I would want to be clicking ground spec. The Amp Core I would want to put on a tank. And I don't think that the money's there for it. We need to keep the pressure up. This is a composition here from Shadoff that can stabilize quickly if we allow it to. So, I'd really like to see some forward pressure at this point. But a Wasp Swarm or an Orbital Bombardment here would be acceptable. I like that or a skip. I think I like the Wasp Swarm more though because there's kind of like a little gap back here, especially with if we throw the... I think there's a little gap back here for the Wasp Swarm. If we hit ground spec, it could do some really good work for us. Okay, so our Wasp Swarm comes down here. That is going to get stuck on these because I don't think they're going to hit our rhinos. It looks like we do have another rhino coming out. Okay. Well, I still think that because of the warp in here, these are going to wind up getting eaten by this typhoon. But I see where we're going here. We have sold out of everything except for 2 crawlers defending our towers. Only having a level 2 tower, if the opponent potentially went in with like a steel ball or something of their own here, could cause us some problems. So we have not taken ground spec, but we have managed to clear quite a bit of the opponent's chaff on the ground. The tower timing is really unfortunate. It allows them to get in on this rhino, which allows this typhoon to get in onto our wasps. And unfortunately, the second tower timing, this is just not going to be great for us. Maybe we might be able to clean this up, but it's not going to be a big win. We were probably hoping for a pretty big win here. I don't think this is going to be a very good win at all, if at all. Nope, don't use that. Yeah. And unfortunately, the remaining chaff is too much for our phoenixes to overcome, and they wind up getting taken out by the singular wasp, the AA spiders, and the 3 marksmen remaining. And that is a pretty big chunk there. Alright, laser sights are offered. I like that. Photons offered. Kind of like that one too. Nano repair is not always so great into the steel balls. You know, it could be better into like a typhoon defense or a spider defense, but with steel balls, I'm probably not taking the nano. Yeah, skip's pretty good here. Money allows us flexibility. We do have quite a bit of it. We do have another rhino drop, so that's getting dropped back here on these heavy target steel balls. That should be pretty beneficial. So yeah, they have 9,000 health each. One of these is going to have 22,000 health, so that should kill a few of them. And if we took armor, and that would bump it up to 64,000, so that would take out all of them at 33,000, 32,000. Alright, they've got an EMP on their ratings. Yeah, we're going Wraith into the flank, we're taking degen, okay. So we're just committing fully to the flank. Yeah, we'll take out a couple balls. The whirlwind is really nice. Manages to save the first rhino. Degen manages to warp in at a really beneficial time here as we get into the typhoons and the spiders. They are getting stuck onto the wraiths now instead of cleaning up wasps. And we've lost the ground battle, but we have won the aerial side of this thing. And that was with the warp in. So this tower timing, as has been, could be pretty important here. But it looks like they are pulled towards our tower instead. Now the question is, can we keep them off the tower and clean them up before they clean us up? And it looks like yes, we're going to get the spiders down, thanks to the Phoenix and the degen beam. Very nice. So we are back to pretty much even. Okay, so where do we go from here? Do we come from the front now? Because that's where I would be thinking. Alright, we got a Farseer. Sold the Farseer. Not interested in the Farseer. We have 4 wasps in the flank. We have 4 rhinos. We have 2 donuts. We have a phoenix. We take... no. We had shields. There you go. There's ground spec. That's what I like to see. Still got a lot of money left. I do have the underground threat again this round. So maybe right back here again. Try to distract these steel balls. Or potentially up here. I don't know. We've got really focused composition here, and our opponent is kind of all over the place. They've taken AA on 2 different units. They've got an EMP Raiden, which is pretty good against the rhinos since we don't have photon armor yet. But it's okay. More wasps. Oh, okay. We need something to block the spider over here. Ooh, that might hurt. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. Yeah, that's not great there. Yeah, the rhinos are getting locked onto and cleaned up pretty quickly. The thing saving us right now is these donuts are managing to pick up the AA fire from the spiders and the typhoons, holding them off long enough that we are able to get in with the wasps. They do get an earlier tower timing than us this time. They're going to get both towers before we engage, which might actually work out for us because I think, yeah, we're out of the debuff now. We're just stuck on the chaff. Okay, so we're stuck on the chaff right now. We're getting cleaned up by the spiders, but we have such powerful wasps and phoenixes at this point, it doesn't matter. We're able to chunk through them. Let's see, we've got shield device, shield airdrop, and advanced tactics. I would be considering the offensive tactics right now. Either that or the airdrop. I get the skip. You know, we need the money, but at the same time, those are two really strong cards right here. So it looks like we are building out more chaff now in front of our other side of the board. I do like this. This kind of works as similar distraction as coming from a frontal angle. There aren't a lot of good angles. Shadoff has done a pretty good job of covering all of their bases. You know, could probably get something in through here, but not with a rhino just because of these steel balls. But you know, I do like this. We're applying pressure in multiple fronts. We've taken a third tech on the wasp, which is really good here, especially since our opponent has not yet clicked HE on their spiders. That extra splash could cause us a lot of problems, but because they haven't done it, we are able to get in pretty quickly. And again, this one Wraith does a huge job for us tanking these typhoons, allowing our wasps enough time to live to get in and clear them. On the other side, we are almost pushing through. Yeah, this round does not go well for us. But it's not over either. Like, it's not like we lost the game here. Managed to take out the tower. We still win this side. With having the shields, we have extra survivability against this cleanup effort. So it's a win. It's a small win. We really need to start driving it home, though. Otherwise, we're going to run out of places to hit from. All right. So Sabertooth is offered. That's always scary when you've got big rhinos as your tanks. Sell it, as we do. And I really like this just continued applying pressure to the other side. Because this is the main battlefront, but this is going to be a big problem for our opponent. They have clicked HE. We have clicked power armor. I think I would have preferred to see photon coating. Oh, okay, we got them both. Because of the EMP and the degen beam. But now that we have 4-tech rhinos, I have no complaints. One thing we can consider if there is another round is clicking aerial specialization on our wasps to take out these degen wraiths pretty quickly. I could see our opponent going with a boat with photon emission in the next round to disable our photon, or disable our degen, and then we can do nothing about it. So opponent accurately reads that the rhinos are coming, throws down some steel balls, but I don't know that's going to be enough. We've got the ground spec wasps. Are they going to get through them? No, almost. But it still holds up quite a bit, allowing on our other side, because they couldn't focus more defenses there, we win pretty handily. So acting as a distraction rather than an additional significant push, this also works really well. So now we are going to clean up here. This will be a round for us. And, ooh. Good thing we have shields. Alright. I like this. I like where this is going. I feel like we're setting up, there is a chance to come in from the front. So one thing I have noticed, alright, it's improved fire skip here. Yeah, none of these others can do anything, yeah. We have almost nothing on our board. We have level 3 towers. We have a pack of crawlers. Everything is on the flanks. This is very extreme gospel. Okay. So this is a level 3 tarantula over here. That's doing a lot of work. With these rhinos having warped in now, though, I think that we could see a more a significant push on this side, and we might get this tower. And if we get that tower, this entire side will collapse. Right now, it's a question of who's going to collapse first. We do have the money for anti-air if we so desire. We can lone range speed, anti-air, or we just get more wasps. I like that too. Wasp and Rhino. I still want to see range and speed. I don't love throwing them into the flank like this on round 10. Just, it takes so long to get in. We have officially sold out of the entire main board though. That is a choice. I guess I can move the camera down here since we don't need to see any of that. There we go. We'll just do the top down of our opponent's side. Alright, here we go. Epic battle. Our rhinos, we managed to get through some steel balls down here. We managed to get through the steel balls. Well, not really. We lose our rhinos to the steel balls, but we managed to hold them off. We're pushing through. I don't like the top down. I know some people love it. We take out all of the AA though. We do manage to win on both sides against the opponent's anti-air without us having anything in front. So all they have left is, it looks like a missile and a marksman. We have shields, so the missile does nothing. And this is going to be another round win for us. It's not going to be lethal. There should be around 11. But it's getting really close. Yeah, here we go, round 11. Let's take them home, Zero, let's go. Super heavy's offered. The orbital is a good choice for both sides. Smoke bomb could be good for us. They have a ton of stuff here. But we know they're going to shield, so I would almost just skip. Maybe we could smoke on the other side. Or even acid. You know, if they're not going to bubble, an acid bath could be really interesting. And if we can get that bubble down before the acid drops, it's going to melt everything. I think the bubbles are in a good spot though, behind the chaff. It's going to be really tight timing for us to actually get to the bubbles before the acid drops. So I don't think that acid's going to do anything for us, but I like the thought process here. I think it would have been better served over here. I know there's not quite as much, but we also know that they're not going to likely heavily bubble it as much either. So we take the underground threat. We do finally take anti-air spec. So once we clear out these crawlers, these wraiths will go down quickly. This Raiden will go down quickly. Let's take a look at this Phoenix. This Phoenix has done a decent amount of damage. 200,000 damage over the course of the game. You know, it's no Wasp. But it's done some work, and it's helped us out in the pickle at the end of the games. Or out at the end of the rounds, that's for sure. Yeah, I still don't like going into the flank this late. I'd much rather see it coming from a corner, but I get it. You've committed to the bit. I'm not going to question it. The not loaning part throws me off a little bit. But hey, it seems to be working. Alright, can we get onto the bubbles? No, we don't get on the bubbles, so the acid winds up not hitting. Which is unfortunate, but these shields are doing a great job for us. They're tanking both the orbital strikes as well as the spiders. We have enough HP on our Wasp now that the spiders can't even take the shields off in a single hit. We managed to get through on both sides, breaking through on the right side before the left side. Before we even get the second tower, the game is essentially over. Fantastic job from Zero here. Full commitment to the gospel to the point of having no units on the main board. That's really impressive. It's really cool to see. Again, I think that some of these later deployments into the flank were more the commitment than they were necessarily a good strategy. I think if we come from maybe even just all the way in the corner here, with the extra speed, the extra bodies on the board from not having to wait to warp in, we get to the tower a little quicker, we get engaged a little quicker, we are able to help out and potentially shift the tides a little bit. but this was very impressive. Let's look at it from the hero's perspective now. I mean, we have 2 level 3 towers. We have 8 wasps. We have 3 wraiths. We have 7 rhinos. We have 8 techs across our 2 primary units. I mean, if this isn't the kind of game that gets you excited for Mechabellum, I don't know what is. That's really cool. I think from our opponent's side, they got just a little too caught up in what all the different units could do, rather than focusing it into a few of them. Not enough chaff in front, especially with us having 4 whirlwind rhinos plus 2 wraiths to help clear it. So our wasps were able to get into their anti-wasp units and anti-rhino units much faster. That's one thing that is different from when I played against Shadoff, is that Shadoff had probably 15 to 20 packs of crawlers, it felt like, when we played. And he did not have that here. It looks like, had a fair amount, but they were staggered, so we were able to clear the front ones quickly enough and clean everything up. Really fun game from Zero. Thank you for sharing it with me. Don't know that I'm going to be willing to give this method a try, but hey, you know what? Keep showing me that it works, and I will definitely stick my neck out there once or twice. I do love seeing these different variations. This reminds me of when Amarok went for a round 1 gospel and elite spec. It's just full commitment to the wasps and the rhinos, and yeah, like I said, I love seeing it. If this kind of Mechabellum doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. For all you cultists out there, give me a no board for me in the comments. I'm your cult leader, Cheese. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.